Grand Rising, people, beautiful family out there. I'm reporting live. Hopefully this is going to be working. It's been a while and I've been really sitting on a lot of stuff. And I wanted to make sure when you resume our discussions, our videos, that we do it in a proper order. A lot of people keep sending messages and questions, and we keep kind of offline dialogue, which has been really great because it helps me to really become aware of what is the knowledge, what is the level of really the ignorance that's been, this is like a disease, that's like a chronic disease across the world. And as we keep learning law and we keep learning the universal law and this life, right, things start making sense and we are making connections. Hopefully you are. And this is really what I like to do here. And so really starting from the top and to create a really powerful foundation is to talk about who we are. And this is where the ID trap is really coming from. And I had discussion with one of my family members the other day, and he told me, he said, when you go into a forest and you see a deer, do you have to identify that it's a deer? And I did a post about it. And I think that it really flew above most people's head. What do you really mean like that? What do you really mean? Of course it's a deer. And that's precisely that. Think about it, your name. Okay, this is what it's all about. This is why they always, and when I say they, I mean the corporate government, the establishment, always wants your identification. It's the same thing like in Nazis, right? Nazi Germany, I need to see your papers. Well, it's about creating that identity, that man-made identity. But if you being created by your creator, like I was, I know where I came from, I know who I am, and that's why I have unalienable God-given rights that are secured by the Constitution, not constitutionally secured rights. So let's go back to the identity though, because that's really where we have to start our discussions. And it's all connected, that knowing thyself is all connected to that fact that people have been disconnected from knowing who they are and where they truly came from. When you ask a lot of people who they are, they will give you their roles. They will tell you, well, I am a mom, I am a dad, I am a sister, I am a brother, I am a vice president at this company, that company. But these are your roles. These are your roles. That's not really who you are. And then they tell you, most people tell you, well, I'm John, I am Susan. And then, it follows with the last name. But if you really think about it, is that really who you are? Because that's not even a first-hand knowledge. I know when I was born, through the divine intervention of the Creator into a family called Oma, I was first born. That was a fact. I was born, and then my mom and dad came and they gifted me my name. They gave me a name, which is a gift. But that came second. That came after my birth. So first, I am being born. I am the temple of God. I am the extension of God that came from that source. And then that creation got into hands of people's hands, humans. We can use the word human here. Look up the definition. And they gave that God's creation a label, a name, which is a gift. So I am not my name. for all I know, it could be a lie, right? Like all these things we thought are true are now becoming lie. Like I was a little baby. I was not conscious, I was not fully aware what's going on. It could be all made up. Who knows? Maybe, that was mistaken identity or something. So this is why they always ask you for the identification. And this is why I was posting about the deer in the forest. If you go to a forest and you see a deer, do you need to identify that that's a deer? Oh yeah, it might be John Deere, right? No, you don't. You know that it's a deer. So it's the same thing. We all know that we are people. We are people. We, the people of California, grateful to Almighty God for our freedoms, right? For that we establish this Constitution. So first, you are people, and people is singular and it's plural. So you are one of the people. State citizen, lowercase s and capital C. You are a citizen of California citizen. You are Nevada citizen, okay? But you are not U.S. citizen, because that U.S. citizen was created by the man, by the legal fiction. So that's why it's in all caps. But you see, until you separate yourself from that legal fiction, they will constantly try to put you into being one. You, the one of the people, the state citizen, being one with the ensleeches, with that entity, with that legal entity that was created by the state of under the District of Columbia jurisdiction. So this is the major trap, that they will always look for the identification. And of course, most people have driver's license, right? That's why they want you to get driver's license. That's why they tell you driving is a privilege, and you are totally eating it. Oh yeah, I need that privilege. Why do you need that privilege when you already have that right? You have that unalienable right to travel that came to you from your Creator. That's why it's unalienable, God-given right, and that's why it is secured by the Constitution, right? Article 9 and 4. Amendment 9 and Amendment 4. So when we really, and this is why this really is more than just the legal side of things, the law of the man. This is the spiritual law. This is why I am posting so many things about really waking up your soul, to wake up, to realize who you truly are. Because when your soul wakes up and you remember that kingdom of God resides within you, everything shifts. Everything changes, because now you are no longer shrinking. The other day I was at an event, and it was this packed gymnasium with people, and it was a funeral service, and there was this pastor talking, and it was very loving, but then it was so shrinking to basically put you right back in to the position of the sinner, of the debtor, of the criminal. That's, guys, where it's all coming from, because they don't want you to step into your power. They don't want you to know that God breathes life through you. Every morning you wake up, if you can check and you are breathing, that's what it means. This morning I woke up, I didn't have to start my heart pumping all these thousands of gallons of blood. I didn't have to instruct my lungs. how to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. I didn't have to orchestrate the 800 muscles that it takes to move my legs. I didn't have to organize the 400 some muscles to lift my arm so I can reach and make my delicious lemon water in the morning. I didn't do that. Some higher power is moving through me, that is moving me. And when we clear that clutter in our head, who we are not, everything becomes very clear. Everything becomes very clear, and that's going to that hierarchy of the law. So first, there is the Creator. And you can be believer, not believer, you can be Christian, you can be Buddhist, you can be Muslim, it doesn't matter. How you get to God is your personal journey, it's your intimate journey. We don't need to be discussing, but it will show because you will have that absolute authority, that knowing who you are, and you will move in that way because higher power will be moving through you. And so when they come and they ask you for your identification, well, I am the people. I'm people. I'm one of the people. I am California citizen with capital C or Nevada. This is where the confusion happens, and it's all based on presumption. It's based on presumption that you are operating in the public as the U.S. citizen. The 14th Amendment word of the state that they created. So when you identify with that name, it's presumed it's the all caps name. It's not that John that was born into the family Smith, but it's the John Smith all caps. So now you are dead, you are legal entity, you are a creation of law, and you are performing on behalf of that entity as surety, but you don't know. And then people go and they scream and cry and do all these things in the administrative courts, and they are not getting remedies because you are presumed dead. They cannot hear you. They cannot hear you, period. And so I think that's really where a lot of the confusion and frustration is coming from. So once we start really addressing that, that will all go away because if you are out there in the world and you know who you are, right? You also know that you have these rights that are secured by the supreme law, which all of our public servants took an oath of office. This is people so simple. It is so simple, but it's very difficult to be simple for people because there is too much chatter up here. It's too much chatter. So, for anyone to perform any public service, to be in any official governmental position, that's why they have to have an oath of office. And so that's their contract with you. That's their promise to you that they will serve with fidelity. And so this is how you instruct your public servants, right? If you are aware that they are violating some of your rights, it's only because it's presumed that you are that you are that entity in their legal fiction world, and that's why people get treated like such. I really want to do a video on like these videos with people have with cops, which is so heartbreaking that like a lot of these interactions are just so negative, and so there is so much resistance in it, this energy of resistance, and it's all because it's coming from you not knowing who you are. Like, if you internally feel that you are a sinner, you are presumed to be a debtor and a criminal. And that's why you get treated like that. If you know that you came from the Creator and you carry the divine within you, you have nothing to hide, first of all. And you deal with your public servants in such a way because you also know your rights, right? You also know that you have the Fifth Amendment right of due process and not to become a witness against yourself. This is why in a lot of the probation clauses, they make you sign actually that you will provide identification because they want that driver's license from you. They want to see that driver's license that you actually are, that U.S. citizen, that ward of the state, that you have no rights, and that you are basically performing for the debt of the United States. So it all starts with really knowing thyself. Where did you come from? Did you come from as a God's creation, or did you come as man's creation from the law? So that's the question you need to ask yourself.